What's going on, guys? How we doing? John Anthony, Chair Shot Sports, a driver of the top production. Thank you so much for joining me. Guys, what a night it was at All In last night. What a show. A lot of good parts, some opportunities for Tony Khan and AEW. Also going to cover a little bit of the media scrum as well. Talk about a couple things with WWE Raw coming on tonight. And obviously Bash in Berlin, TNA Emergence, and also No Mercy on the NXT brand coming up this weekend. So let's kick it off with AEW All In. Guys, this pay-per-view I thought was going to be definitely a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. One of the best go-home, probably, I want to say one of the better, probably the best go-home shows that Tony Khan and AEW have had leading into a major pay-per-view for them. They got the action going early, had the London ladder match. So for the record, we went 3-6 for our predictions. But again, a lot of times I'm doing the thinking of how I would book it, the things that kind of look well, explaining how things go. Again, the results that happen here, things happen. It is what it is. London ladder match, the BCC or what's left of it, and Pac obviously new trios tag champions. Awesome decision. I thought House of Black might have been a little bit better way to go with that. But it is what it is. The women's title, Toni Storm, Mariah May, did not disappoint. Little bit outside interference, a lot of stuff going on. Into the name Mariah May, your new AEW Women's Champion. The FTW match, a little lackluster for me. Obviously, had a little bit of interference, kind of just taking it to Hook before he even gets in the ring. Taz getting up from the announce table, locking in the Taz mission at the same time as Hook in the ring on Jericho, getting the submission and winning back the FTW belt was amazing to see as well. The AEW tag matches, again, don't think that was a good move. Young Bucks kind of retaining there. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a plan down the road for them to ultimately loot like the belts and like control of the company or something like that on TV. Probably coming down the road when Tony Khan probably reemerges himself on a weekly television basis. But the Grizzly Young Veterans, aka made their debut, which was awesome. Good to see them. So grit your teeth moving forward on AEW Dynamite, probably this upcoming Wednesday, which is going to be awesome to see them. Great tag team, awesome in NXT. Obviously, we're demoted a little bit to Schism. I think they weren't booked really the right way. Schism really didn't take off the way they wanted it to with Gacy, Ava, and the Grizzly Young Vets. But they're going to do great things in AEW. The tag pool over in AEW is amazing. Trios and just the pairs. So excited to see them go there. That's going to be great. The gauntlet match. Guys, this gauntlet match was everything I wanted and more. Nigel McGuinness, Ricochet making his debut. Obviously, we reported a couple weeks ago, he signed a multi-year deal. We all kind of knew he was going to debut here, but what an entrance they gave to him coming in, what he did with Hangman in the ring, just flying around everywhere, kind of showcasing his immense talent in 3 minutes was awesome to see. Zack Sabre Jr., awesome to have him come out as well. But again, we take the belts off of Christian Cage, right? And then we roll him out there to do this false turn for Luchasaurus, only to help Christian retain win the gauntlet match to get a anytime AEW title shot, whatever he wants. What do we do? I just don't know. There's no rhyme or reason. Like you, in the same night, you're just kind of, I get it. You make him look hungry and he's diabolical and he's trying to be cerebral in what he does and how he's going to stay in a title picture. But this was your perfect opportunity to really get Hangman Page back into the picture with that contract and have him stay relevant without having him coming out week after week after week. And like in the main event, he's coming out distracting Swerve. Why are we doing that? If anything, that makes Bryan Danielson look weak. What are we doing here? I don't know, but hopefully it makes sense down the road. So Christian Cage is your gauntlet winner. He now has an AEW world title shot anytime he wants down the road. So I'm sure that'll be cashed in sooner than later with the cronies of the rest of the patriarchy helping him out to bring that gold to the group. The American title, again, Awesome opportunity to have MJF going over in enemy territory. Can we just give a shout out to the Star Spangled Scumbag? This man gave me Rocky vibes. He's looking like Lex Luger out here. Like, he looked awesome in that outfit and that getup. Him and Ospreay went to town, went to battle. Awesome match. But again, what are we doing? Daniel Garcia, out of nowhere, obviously interferes, gets MJF distracted. Ospreay's able to hit the Tiger Driver. But why are we doing this in these big matches that already have set rivalries? I get it. You could have brought Garcia back Wednesday. I would have thought MJF would keep the belt, right? And then maybe have Garcia debut or come back, return, right? And maybe have them feud, since he kind of cost Garcia somewhat of his career, quote unquote, put him on the shelf for a while. Now he returns. So I just don't understand the placement. And it just makes Ospreay look weak. MJF went toe-to-toe in the 59 minute and 57 seconds and won that belt from him. Toe-to-toe, pillar to post, no interference. All good. And then now you have Ospreay trying to get that belt back in his hometown, feeding off of Wembley. And you need Daniel Garcia to come and to help be the difference that he needs to beat MJF. Doesn't make any sense to me, man. Doesn't make any sense to me. You could have brought Daniel Garcia in Wednesday night. And now what are you going to do with MJF? Like, that belt, and the fact that he's like, no, I don't want that American belt. He takes back the international. I really hope that on Wednesday night, MJF comes out and he's like, listen, no. You can have your international title. I don't want it. I'm still the American champion. I really hope they hold that title, which is obviously a quasi form of the U.S. title in AEW, which I love. That belt is banging. But yeah, another way I really thought MJF was going to go over here, but Ospreay gets to win. Again, the match was awesome. 5 out of 5 stars. Awesome match between the two. The TBS title, this match disappointed me to no end. The match between Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker, and I really don't think you can really say it's a lot on Britt Baker. Mercedes was exposed last night. She really was. And I'm sorry. You can come at me. If you listen to the prediction show that I had last week, I was singing her praises. She's looking better. She sounds better on the mic. But in a ring against someone like Britt Baker, where you got to bring your A game. The last time Britt put on a banger, I think it was Thunder Rosa. That's one of the few rivalries she had before she went on the shelf. But it's like Mercedes is out here, and she's just telegraphing the moves. I think she stayed in a one knee pose for like almost a minute, waiting for Britt to get up and do her rebound move off the ropes. And then she's bent over, hunched over. You see her move over to the left and turn a little bit and center herself so Britt can come off the ropes and execute the move. There's no fluidity. There's nothing like making the scene. We get it, guys. It's scripted. It's fake. We all know that. Okay, we get it. But the idea is to make it look realistic. That's why you have the walkthroughs. That's why you know the spots of what's going to happen. And Mercedes just makes it look. She's out there looking like a rookie. Moving on the ground, roll it over, try to get like when she's jumping off the top rope. The top rope moves taking 35, 40 seconds to get in place, get your hands ready. I mean, and not for nothing. Obviously, the women, you got to expect a little less of obviously the big moves and things like that, throwing each other around. The guys are obviously a little better at it because they're bigger, they're more built for it, right? But I was not impressed in the least. And the fact that she won, and the fact that she went over, wild. I know I'm not saying every time someone comes back on TV, and this rings true for WWE as well. When someone comes back, I'm not saying throw the belt on them. Hell, how long did it take Cody? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. But Britt is hot. One of the true pillars of the company. And Mercedes chasing that belt, chasing her for another 2-3 pay-per-views, probably lasting somewhere into January, maybe even Revolution. I just think it's a missed opportunity. The match, I think, was subpar. The wrestling wasn't that great. The result, I think, was a little not what people wanted. And it's not even a matter of what I wanted, the fact that I picked Britt Baker. But just if you look at the whole scheme of things, I think Mercedes chasing that belt, getting pissed that Britt came back and finally took her belt back. And now Mercedes like, no, I'm the rightful champ. AEW's mine now. And have her chase back and try to get that belt back. That would have been way better cinema than having Mercedes retain. And now we're going to have either a run back of Britt Baker and herself, or we have more challengers make themselves apparent going for that belt. And then on the flip side, we go from there to the TNT title. Now this match was awesome. Great match. A little too quick for me. A little too quick. Loved the Sting return. The pop was immense. Loved it. Darby got his ass kicked. Didn't really put up a whole lot of offense. I love the thumbtacks on the face. Awesome match. Love the entrances for both. Love Jack Perry's entrance. Love the new title belt. I just think it was a little bit too big spots, hitting the coffin, things like that, doing the coffin drop. A lot of stuff like that. I like tying up the feet and the hands and kind of just beating the hell out of them. That was awesome. Thought it was a good time. Again, this is the one pick I did have Perry going over because it makes sense for him to really just kind of stick it to Darby. I don't know if Sting's going to hang around, maybe make an appearance on Wednesday night. We don't know. But Darby definitely should probably get another shot at this, probably at Full Gear. Probably winning it there, but having Perry go over it All In makes sense. Obviously, we have All Out. Very quick turnaround for All Out in 2 weeks. We'll be talking about that a little more toward the end of this week and next week. And I mean that was great. The Sting return again was great. I loved the bag of glass with the pop and the CM Punk pose and people chanting, FCM Punk. That was great. Tell me a man lives in your rent free without telling me a man lives in your head for rent free. Like, dude, it's just the broken glass and everything. I love it. The pose, it was great. Great pop. I'm sure a lot of people at home were doing the same thing I was doing. Just like, oh, look at that. It was great. It was awesome. But big ups to Perry. Great win for him. Again, loving the belt. Hopefully he make that available at some point for purchase because that's an amazing TNT title. So with that said, the cherry on top. It's time for dessert, guys. The frosting on the cake. It was for the AEW World title. Bryan Danielson, Swerve, career versus title. This match hit you in the feels, man. The opener with her Bryan Danielson showing the family, going to the archive, showing the Ring of Honor footage, showing all the matches from back in the day. Obviously, they had nothing for WWE, which is unfortunate. But as I had said last week when we were talking about our predictions, I thought this is a great time for Danielson to kind of go out like this. Great way to go out on the sword in front of a huge crowd, giving Swerve the rub in front of the family, having the kids watch him wrestle. But no, apparently Tony Khan saw us going a different way, and we decided to put the belt on Bryan Danielson. So Bryan Danielson is the American Dragon is your new AEW World Champion. Now I'm going to tell you why I have a problem with this. And no, it's not because I didn't pick him. First of all, it's not fair to Swerve. You know what? Before I get into that, let me go. So great match, back and forth. Bryan Danielson did all the great moves, got in his bag. Swerve, all the house calls, big pressure. The fact that I'm pretty sure Danielson is the first person to ever kick out of big pressure. The Swerve stomps, everything. Awesome match. The fact bringing them out in front of the kids, in front of Birdie, in front of Bree, and just giving the kicks right to the face kicks right in front of the family was just gangster. Love it. End of the match comes. Here we go. And again, Hangman Page makes his way down, distracts Swerve because now he's lost the Owen Hart tournament. Now he's lost the gauntlet match, and he doesn't care where it is, how it happens. He needs to get his hands on Swerve again, right? So obviously he comes down, distraction, security gets him, they take him out. He beats up Prince Nana, so now he can't even help Swerve. Yeah. Bryan hits the knee, 1, 2, 3, man, and then just hits into the label lock, the ultimate label lock, like snaps the fingers and just puts the arm and just ranks back, man. Great match. Again, Bryan Danielson is your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I can't be the only one that goes between Bryan Danielson and Daniel Bryan. I can't be the only one that still refers to him as either or. The man's the GOAT. How about that? He's the GOAT. That's all that matters. So with that being said, on a scale of 1 to 10, we don't do 5 stars and shit here. But 1 to 10, I give it a solid 7.5. Solid 7.5. And get mad at me, come at me, hit me in the comments, email us, chairshotsports@gmail.com. Tell me why it should be higher than 7.5. There's no way you can sit there and tell me that, yes, there was great matches. MJF and Will Ospreay, the main event. Great matches. London ladder, good matches, big spots. I think a little too many spots, if you ask me, too many climbing up the ladder to knock him down. A little too much of that. But still a good match. The lackluster TBS match. The tag match wasn't that great. Tell me why it should be higher than 7.5. Please tell me and convince me. I'd love for you to tell me. If that women's match, if that Monet and Britt Baker match was better than that, was actually, and it slapped, probably be an 8.5, to be perfectly honest with you. But just it left me wanting a lot from a lot of the matches. So with that being said, obviously after this, we do the scrum. I'm not going to hit on the entire scrum. Took about, I think the scrum was like an hour, a little over. The biggest part of it right now I want to talk about is they brought up AEW Collision. A couple people asked Tony Khan as far as AEW, how's it looking right now, the state of the business, how everything backstage is. He did reference the fact of Collision being in a lot better place than it was a year ago, talking about the man he cannot name because of the DNAs. I'm sorry, the DNAs. Yeah, so talking about how obviously because of prior issues that came to a head, things backstage had happened a year ago. Things are better. So it's still, again, CM Punk references throughout the night, whether we're doing poses, whether we're talking about situations. CM Punk still being talked about a year after in AEW, which is wild to me. Hopefully we move on from this and just stop with the CM Punk references and all. Like, let's let him go. Let it go. Let him be WWE. Let him do his thing. Tony was also talked to about creative. How's everything going in the back? Who's come up with these matches and who gets the credit for this stuff? Obviously, Mercedes Moné has her own producer / promo writer. A couple other people do as well. It was said that 27 to 30 people on a weekly basis in creative are pitching, quote, hundreds of things to me that I need to make a decision on, unquote. If it's taking 27 people to come up with this creative, then you need to get rid of 23 of them because that's way too many hands in the basket. I'm pretty sure at WWE we got Paul, you have Nick. You got 4 or 5 people maybe putting their 2 cents into things. Bruce Pritchard, that's 3. Not many more. But yeah, that's a lot of people. That 27 people throwing ideas at you all at once, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good. And then he made it sound if he's going one way, and that was funny because Mercedes Moné was quoted about a week ago on a podcast saying that you would come into work at WWE when she was over the other company. You would come in for work and not know what you were doing on a week-to-week basis. But yet last night, Tony Khan is saying that if he's going in one direction with a storyline and someone comes in with a better idea, he'll pivot and go in a different direction. Now, granted, with VKM, there were script changes that day, hours before the show. You would know something Saturday night. You come Monday morning, you come in Monday afternoon, get off the bus, get off the trailer, however you get in, driving in, and the script's different. I get that. That's wicked annoying. That's just no room for that. But you're literally going in one way, and someone comes up to you, hey, you should probably do this. Like, Tony needs to have a direct vision of what he wants, and then needs to give it to the creative and let them just run with it. Once he starts doing that, then they'll start flowing a little bit better, which they have been doing. They have been doing a lot better of that, of having more storytelling, matches making sense, things being put together. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the Swerve Danielson match. The fact that Bryan Danielson is now your AEW World Champion. Now, the only problem I have with this, and I said this last week, is if Danielson wins, there's kayfabe, obviously. We talk about a lot of things. We talk about a lot of stuff that happens on TV that's said for TV and scripted. But one thing that's not scripted and not fake is that Bryan Danielson told his family this is the last contract he's going to sign. He told that to Brie. It's known. Brie's talked about it. If you watch Total Divas, my wife does, so obviously I've watched it as well. It's a thing. She wanted him home. He wants to be home, be a dad. He's missing his kids growing up. If you saw last night, they're not getting any younger. They're a lot bigger now, and it's great that he had that moment out there to bring them in the ring and to do moves with the kids and have everyone just standing O for him. Have Brie in the ring with him as well. But then we go to the scrum, and a reporter goes, "What's next for you?" And the answer is, "I don't know. I need to go home, and I think it's time for me to go home to my kids." You just won the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and we don't know what's going on. If I tune in Wednesday and Bryan Danielson comes out here in the middle of the ring and announce some weird, I'm giving up I won it, I did what I needed to do, now I need to go home, and some stupid tournament is started for All Out since it's a quick turnaround, this has got to be the most selfish thing that Bryan Danielson, I think, has ever done wrestling-wise. And don't tell me, oh, it's a great moment. It was awesome. Yeah, it was. The point was for them to see him wrestle. We don't just use these titles as giveaways and for people to have their feel-good moments before they retire. All right? It sucks his kids weren't there to see him become undisputed champion at WrestleMania 30. It sucks. I get it. And that was a huge moment for him. A lot of people are saying that the moment from last night is bigger than the moment at WrestleMania 30. That's bullshit. That's just totally you shitting on WrestleMania and WWE. That man went on a 5-month odyssey of battling the Authority, overcoming everything, the yes movement, overtaking Raw, overtaking the ring, getting people from actually out of the stands into the ring to get that match. The way they got there, it's told that story, probably one of the better stories that Vince told of Daniel Bryan, with the B+ player, not being an A+ player, the whole nine. Awesome, awesome stuff. And you're going to tell me he won the Owen Hart tournament to get his shot, so he'd have to go through a lot of he went through the tournament, I get it. And then he's given a shot, shows up, he puts his career on the line and wrestles and wins the belt. Very little story there. Yeah, we get the story of him retiring, we get the story of his career. Where's the story with Swerve? He just shows up to whoever the champion was. Hey, I got a shot, so I'll be seeing you at All In. What? And this is very disrespectful to Swerve. If we come out Wednesday and now we just we donkey that title up into a tournament, or he just lays it down and then Tony Khan gets to make a decision of who gets it. If this is some weird way of segueing Adam Page and Swerve into a tournament to get them get their hands on each other at All Out, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be livid next week on the show. Wild stuff. Wild stuff. I would at least want to see a 2-3 month run from at least give me to a Revolution. Even if we know you're going to lose there, but how are you going to have an actual match with this guy? How he's going to defend his belt? You know he's giving it up. He's done. He's already talking about retiring. So every match, it's not even like, well, maybe he's going to keep it. No, he's going to give it up. It's a matter of who gets it. So I can see him walking out there Wednesday with the waterworks, with everyone coming out to the top of the ramp, streamers, however the hell they want to do it, and him laying the belt down in the middle of the ring and walking away. And then Tony Khan comes out with a huge announcement, and there's a tournament that's kicked off for 2 weeks into All Out. I don't see how any of that is fair to Swerve. Swerve deserved a way longer tenure as AEW champion. At least Revolution. Maybe give him 2-3 more months, maybe before the end of 2024. But this is to lose it like this, to not go to somebody who can take that. Give it to Paige. Paige is young. Paige got a long way to go. Great heel run he could have with that belt. But we gave it to somebody just for the feel-good moment. If this was WWE, you guys would be chastising the hell out of this company. Coming for Triple Nose, whatever you guys call them that are AEW fans. Coming for the head of WWE that were just giving out titles to people so they can feel good. You guys do it for Bryan Danielson, and now it's okay because it happened in your company. Right? Just doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm praying to God that he at least comes out and has somewhat of a 2-3 month run. Even though we know when he wrestles again, he's going to lose the belt. But at least whoever he gives it to and gets pinned 1, 2, 3 makes sense. And that person can take the belt and do something with it. You're a lame duck if you're Bryan Danielson. You're a lame duck. Like you got one foot out the door. Anytime you're going to wrestle, we're like, oh, you're going to lose because that's it. But I digress. I can sit here and talk about it for another 15 minutes. It's upsetting to see that. I really thought Bryan Danielson could have used this opportunity. That match was fire the whole time. Danielson didn't have to win that belt. Didn't have to win the championship to come out still smelling like a rose in that match. But nope, way to put the belt on him. And then in the scrum, he's like, I don't know. I think I need to go home. What? And Tony Khan talking about, well, we got to find out what Bryan wants to do with his future. What he wants to do with his future, he's to show up on Wednesday night and find out who the next guy is to try to come down and kick his ass and take that belt. That's what he needs to do. Not get in the ring with a nice shiny gold belt now and retire. What, to retire the champion? What are we doing? Kurt Angle didn't get that. Ric Flair didn't get that. But Daniel Bryanson, you're telling me, is way better than that to get that kind of treatment because it's in AEW. I don't know, man. It's wild. Wild to me, man. I don't know. I think it could have been done a lot better. But again, at the end of the day, I feel bad for Swerve. I think he's the only guy that kind of loses out on this. And I'm sure Swerve agreed to it. He said, hey, man, of course, no problem. But I think over the long haul of like what you want to do, Swerve's going to be a multiple-time AEW world champion. No doubt. You killed a lot of momentum. Last night, he had uber heat, man. Awesome entrance, awesome look. Came out and doing the Black Panther thing, and just smothered it by giving it to Bryan Danielson for the feel-good moment to have his kids and his wife in the middle of the ring. I don't know, man. So aside from AEW, All In, that was last night. Tonight we have WWE Raw. The biggest thing I want to talk about that I don't have written down is this Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy, Chad Gable rivalry that's going to kick off tonight. The tweets that are coming out from the Wyatt 6 camp on Twitter are wild. Chad Gable is nowhere even close to being done with the Wyatt 6, man. This match is going to be awesome tonight, but a lot of other stuff is going to be happening, to tell you that much. It's going to be awesome. I'm here for it. One of the other things I want to talk about is the IC title tournament that's going to be kicking off tonight as well. I don't believe they have announced any participants yet. I believe there's going to be a bracket tonight, or Adam Pearce announcing how we're going to come about of who's going to be in the tournament and why. I'm sure the usual suspects are going to be in there. You're going to have a Bronson Reed. You're going to have Sami Zayn, a couple of mid-carders, maybe a Chad Gable if he doesn't get his head cut off facing Uncle Howdy. So a lot of stuff like that, probably carrying Cross, I would imagine, might get involved in that. Some underlying guys, mid-carders obviously getting in. So I out of this tournament, I hope, again, Braun should not lose his belt to WrestleMania. Hell, he should probably go past WrestleMania, to be perfectly honest with you. Like a 5, 6, 7 month run would be perfect for him. It's only like, 200 days, you know what I mean? 200-something days. Nowhere close to Gunther, obviously. But legitimate run, because after this, whatever his rivalries are after this, once he jumps into the world title picture, he's going to be pretty unstoppable there too. That's why the whole thing when he lost to Sami Zayn the first time Money in the Bank, you're like, okay, we get it. You know what I mean? Like, no, SummerSlam, you got to give him the belt. He's too strong and too built up as a powerhouse and just a destructible force to just be taking L's when it comes time. You can't just, when it comes time to win the big one, you can't just have him just losing by a little bit, just dominating every other time on television. We just can't have that. So a Braun Strowman, obviously, I'm sure is going to be entered in as well. That's going to be a cool match. I really think this is really the time. Sami Zayn had a great run. It's going to be good. Maybe if he makes the finals, that'll be good. I'd love to see Bronson Reed come out of this tournament as the number one contender for the IC title. That'd be great. I don't think whoever does come out, I don't think they're going to beat Braun, but definitely with Braun and Bronson Reed, that would be a phenomenal match. Very believable. With Bronson just throwing his ass around, but eventually getting speared. That tsunami's nasty. But maybe he does take it out for Braun. I don't know. The fact that he's just not taking out R-Truth, taking out Seth Rollins, obviously to get him off TV for stuff, but still, like, this guy's destroying wrestlers. And he's going to face Braun Breaker, who's a little smaller than him. So hits 1 or 2 tsunamis, you're going to have Braun Breaker kick out of that when he just dismantled 2 other like veteran wrestlers. I don't know, man. And then the Miz as well. I don't know, man. That's going to be rough. But I think Bronson Reed's going to come out of this tournament. That's what I'd really like to see for him to get his time to shine. That'd be awesome. And then the other thing I want to talk about too is this whole narrative going around. It came out yesterday that Rikishi apparently told Jey Uso he needs to, quote, take a break, unquote, because apparently they have no direction and nothing for you right now. I love Rikishi. I had the pleasure of meeting him about 1.5 years ago. Great dude, man. He was awesome. Had my Bloodline shirt on, so we talked for a little bit. Just down-to-earth guy. I don't know if this is kayfabe. I don't know what we're doing here. But Jey obviously is going to be injected somehow, shape, or form into the new Bloodline storyline. It's just a matter of waiting or where we're going to get there. So I don't know if Keisha's doing this kind of get awareness of Jey Uso. Is Jey going to leave? Jey going to become all elite? Things like that. I don't know. But Rikishi can't be that much out of it to be thinking that Jey has nothing going for him. Yeah, he took some L's. He didn't win Money in the Bank. He didn't win any. I get that. But to say he needs to get out of there because they have nothing for him and they're not writing him in the right way, that's a little short-sighted. And Jey's hotter than ever. He's got the Yeet movement. The merch is selling off the shelves. You see everyone in the crowd, especially all the kids, man. They love the stuff, the glasses, the shirts, the whole nine, the fingers, the hands when you do it when you're eating with them. He's on fire, man. He's making a lot of money. He's very popular. It's almost at a point right now, Jey doesn't have to be in the title picture. So he's in a good rivalry and he's getting some wins. People love him. He's going to be selling a lot of stuff out. But I think it's got to be a matter of where he's going to end up playing a role in the Bloodline storyline. You got to go back and help Roman. Jimmy's coming back anytime now. I don't think Bash in Berlin pretty much, but probably after that, setting up whatever the War Games is going to be for the Bloodline. So, but I just think it's a little weird. Which is that being said, Jay's done a phenomenal job. Jay's got his whole career ahead of him. He's got some quality years left in him. He's proven he can be a top tier talent. Get over, sell the merch. He works the crowd like nobody else. And that was lacking when he first came out, but now he's got it. The run with Cody was amazing. It really set him up into the echelon as well when they were tag champs. That was cool. So, but yeah, I think that's kind of weird with Rikishi coming out, kind of talking about, he should take a break and maybe go somewhere else if he needs to because they're not writing him out the right way. I'm like, dude, are you watching the product? Do you know what's going on? He's got him. He's got this. I feel like it's some kind of kayfabe way to kind of like get some smoke for Jay and kind of have a sense of urgency and have people put him in the right place so he doesn't leave. And the other thing is I want to talk about, we talked about last week, my big prediction for the main event with totally the other 180 of Bryan Danielson winning was my thoughts of the Hurt Business debuting. Or the Hurt Syndicate, I should say, the reborn Hurt Business. Still holding out hope that this upcoming Wednesday, maybe Swerve gets that pissed off about losing the belt. Maybe now he goes in and enlists some guys to help him out. Maybe he gets attacked by Hangman Page. Goes and gets recruitment. Maybe Page attacks him in the ring if he has a match on this upcoming Wednesday. And maybe at that point the Syndicate come down. Maybe it's Powerhouse House. Maybe Lashley makes his debut. Maybe it's MVP. You know what I mean? But yeah, that could be awesome to see them finally debut and kind of start building that up toward Revolution. I think those guys should definitely, if Swerve's not the champion, you definitely have other gold in there. You could probably have them be new trio tag champs down the road, at least maybe be tag champs once the Jacksons drop it, the Young Bucks. And obviously Swerve eventually is going to get that belt back, and maybe they're setting him up to win that back at Revolution. I don't know. To have him wait that long when he's this hot is a little weird to me. Or maybe have him go for another title just to have some gold on him. That'd be cool as well. But it's weird to me. Last night the show was great. I don't want to come away like I'm shitting on it. It was great. You know, for my money, bang for my buck. No complaints. But just I feel like a couple matches were just a little lackluster, and Bryan Danielson, the GOAT, however you want to call him, winning that championship. And if it's just going to be some kind of quick interim thing and a turnaround for All Out, I just feel like that's a disservice to Swerve and a little selfish on Danielson's part. With that being said, guys, Raw is going to be awesome tonight. We got a lot of shows coming out this week. We have some Bash in Berlin, TNA Emergence, and also some WWE NXT No Mercy prediction shows coming up. And we also catch us live tomorrow at 8 o'clock with Princess Skywalker and another guest. We'll be going diving even deeper into the AEW All In results. Kind of do a little round table about what our thoughts are. I'll talk a little bit more about some of the matches that I talked about, some more of my thoughts and what could have happened and what did happen. So with that being said, guys, as always, I really appreciate it. If you follow us on YouTube, thank you so much for the support. That's where you're watching us right now. If you're not already subscribed, please shoot us that follow, hit that bell. New shows every week, obviously before and after every pay-per-view and PLE. We're doing prediction shows. We're doing roundtables. We're doing post shows. So definitely check us out. If you're not following us already, join the 16,000 strong on Twitter, and also at Chairshot Sports, and also on Instagram and Facebook, all the same, at Chairshot Sports, and our emails at chairshotsports@gmail.com. Drop us a line. Some really good emails we'll read it here on the air. So I appreciate it. Again, guys, I'm John Anthony. This has been Chairshot Sports, a Driving to the Top Productions. Get comfy, get a drink, and get ready, because Raw is going to